Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a bronze Viego with a bronze Evelyn. Now, it took a while to find a low elo account with enough games in sort of bronze 1, silver 4 MMR range, because you don't want to go too low to bronze, because now you're talking about more beginner stuff. This is definitely a low elo focused video, so if you're silver, you will understand all of this as well, and some of you still do these things. You do, end of story. But, as we do we'll talk about the clear in a second. I think this is a consistent problem in the MMR range, but the problem is a lot of you just don't play enough games. Like, you could be great, you could be gold, you could be platinum, but you just don't play enough games. You swap champions, you swap roles. Be consistent, my friends, play enough games, and then you will know if you truly are low elo or not. Now, if you're blaming your teammates, stop that nonsense. Let's talk about this and showcase why. Now, we have here a red, blue, Gromp. Why is this bad? And don't forget, the silver course is available on Virkayu.gg for you low elo gamers, great for bronze as well, but the bronze and iron specific course will be coming on March 9th with the gold course coming this Friday, March 3rd, hopefully, maybe March 6th, because obviously I've been sick. You can get all of those on the website along with your one-on-one coaching, access to the coaching VOD library, and of course a jungle improvement PDF still available for free. Download it and prove by yourself. All of this stuff is allowing you to climb about 10 times faster than the average player. Sounds good to me. If it sounds good to you, click the link in the below to find out more. Well, because we only have one camp that isn't a buff taken off the map, which means we're gonna go do random things on the map and then realize they didn't work out because our ganking success rate is low because we're low elo. Like, we're not, primed for the smoothest ganks, the best pathing, the best observations, and our laners likewise are a bunch of basilisks, I suppose, although that's quite nimble. So, tardigrades except less cute. And now we're going to do the buff Gromp and go for this downside bottom lane gank here, but why not just go red, Raptors, Gromp? Because then you can look for this, and if there's nothing, hey, I can go to my walls, my blue, now is there something? Okay, I can take the Scuttle Crab, then I can go maybe bot lane or mid lane, maybe I can drive through and gank every lane, take all the Scuttles, and then I can loop back for this first spawn Krugs and the second spawn of each of these camps. Now, if you're going, whoa, slow down, what? That's exactly right, because if you do blue, red, Gromp, the only camp that's going to respawn while you're doing your little stuff on the field is going to be the Gromp, right? So every other camp is level 1. Is that a big deal? No and yes, because the experience differential between the camps at level 1 and when they respawn at a higher level is not so big that you're going, I really need that, but it's also not so small where you should go, yeah, I don't really care if it happens or not. You should care if it happens or not, because those small little perks and experience, like a second spawn Raptor camp, I'll take that. Second spawn Wolf camp, second spawn Gromp camp. You add those little experience differences up, and oh, now we're level 5, level 6 sooner. Hey, that's good. I can do something with that because the enemy jungler, yeah, they're still level 3, level 4, because what they did was buff Gromp and run around doing nothing. You follow? So obviously everyone's going to get leashed down here. She's going to do the full clear. You're Viego, right? Yeah? Viego, while he can be this ganker of the bottom lane, at the same time, you can still invade Evelyns, and I would like to stipulate it and state it and invigorate some sort of bulldozer strategy in all of you bronze 1 and silver 4 junglers. Stop thinking so much about ganking after a 3 camp in the Zelo. Look to use a 5 to 7 camp, to the Scuttle, 5 to 6 camp clear, into Scuttle in action, but if you're not going to do that, look to invade. I want you to kill the Evelyn here. Why? Because 99% she's not going to be warding her buff. 99% she's going to be sequencing from the bottom side to the top side blindly, which means you can say, hey, bottom lane, come give us a leash here. They say, but we're bottom lane. I say, I don't care who you are. Give me the leash. And then I can go, one clear is blue, wolves, red, invade and kill. That's nice. I can go blue, Gromp, wolves. Maybe I could full camp and still invade in time, because most of the time you have to play against the people in the elo, they're slower at clearing. So if an Evelyn does a 315, idealistically, let's say, in bronze, you're probably looking at like a 340. That's not even a joke. Sometimes you will have 340s. We'll have a look at this. Although she seems to be going at a decent cadence, so she'll still be okay. You never know though, right? So I always structure perfectly, but at the same time, be ready to wait a little bit or encounter some slowness or some randomness from the jungler you're trying to kind of invade. But I would put that as your game plan rather than, hey, let me buff Gromp gank. Like if you're Warwick, same thing. Don't buff Gromp, right? Try do different sorts of clears. I had a coaching session the other day where I'll explain in a second. As we do go for this gank, we do get the CC. But that should be the kill. Very, very nice. Don't necessarily always don't take the soul. You don't have to take the soul, but we do. And now we lose our flash. So obviously a little bit of restraint and thinking ahead in those parts. That would be a good idea. But yeah, so this works out. This is great. You say, well, look, it works out. I'm like, yeah, well, that's results based. That's why I paused it. I have no idea what's going to happen. I paused it and gave you my thoughts. I don't think this should be the go-to play, because while the Nautilus plays it well and your Zai plays it well, that's great, but you know, would this be here always? Would this be here anyway? Yes, because your Evelyn's going to be full clearing going to the top side. She's not going to be in the question. She's not going to be the answer either. Likewise, if you just did a Red Raptors Grump and did the same play, you exactly the same play, right? Now, what are we doing? Exactly the same play. You can float back up here and look for the mid lane. You can float back up through that to kill her on the Scuttle Crab, kill the Scuttle Crab, and then gank the Gwen. And then you're saying, well, what about the bottom Scuttle Crab? Yeah, what about it? You know, if I do Red Raptors Grump and a gank and then it's not up, it's not up. If I see a translation gank mid lane into a contest, kill, snack, gank, do all of these camps and then do this afterwards, I'll do it. At the same time, you could just give it up afterwards. Who cares, right? Like, this is one RNG Scuttle for 2 ganks, a denial, a kill. Like, all of these things outweigh the singular crab. If, though, you did want to stay on the side, you could just fall back to the blue, the wolves cut back down, snack this, gank mid lane, and then look to see what's Evelyn doing, what can I do around. But whatever 3-camp clear you do, whether it's the Red Raptors Grump, the Buff Grump, or the Red Wolves Blue, play those in your mind, don't stick around here. This is the problem with this clear. Like, what are we doing? We're basing within range, we're wasting time, What's the Evelyn doing? She is finally on the Scuttle Crab, 334, so not too bad, okay? But I did say, what did I say, 340? So not too bad. Obviously, this is like a decent clear for this particular elo, but now we're hanging around. We're not doing anything. We did the gank. Great job, man. Leave. Take your blue, because we would have done the proper clear this particular time. Take the Scuttle and then gank mid lane. Now, because we've done this, this is the problem. See, this is it right here. Well done. Everyone in the comments, I want to see praise for the Evelyn here. She kept it simple. Full clear with my champion. Snack this RNG Scuttle Crab. See the Viego wasting time. Says, if he's bottom, what can I take? Oh, Raptors. Now, if you did Red Raptors Grump, these Raptors are not up. And a Bronze Evelyn, Silver Evelyn, isn't thinking about the fact that you don't have these Raptors up. She's going to go and check and waste time. She might even go and take your Krugs as well, okay? And then she might even try and gank top lane stupidly. You will see this during your adventures. So if you do Red Raptors Grump, then you gank the bottom lane, and you detach and take this, and maybe gank mid lane, right? If you had any sort of vision that she was here, and she'd done a full clear, plus the Scuttle, that's 28. You see her come from like the zone of your Krugs. Okay, press tab, see 32. That means she did my Krugs as well. Yeah, okay, I'll take your Raptors or take your Krugs, because I know they're respawning. Numbers of jungle, right? The first camp after the buff you take will spawn at around 420. This will be different for the champions and the player, obviously. If you do blue Grump, the Grump will spawn at 420. If you do red Raptors, the Raptors usually around 417-ish. If you do red Krugs, the Krugs around 420, sometimes 422, 23, depends on the champion, okay? That's the range. So I know that if it's 420 by the time I'm showing here, 410, 415, and I see the Evelyn up here, fisting, fighting, and it's not something I can rotate to, hey, if she did red Raptors, I'll go take them. Hey, if she did red Krugs, I'll go take those too. Pay attention to the vision line, obviously, but these are the things that even low elo you can think about. And you're thinking, well, isn't this a bit complicated for Bronze 1? I refuse to say that. You know, it's very easy for me for other coaches to be like, yeah, just full clear and gank once every now and then you'll win. It's like, no. You know, it's just like, I looked at a curriculum. Now look at this. She's doing exactly right. Exactly right. Right? Tendencies, understanding what they want to do. Well, what's a Viego doing, man? What is he doing? Like, he did the buff, Grump, gank the bottom, and he's just trilating like it's Dota 2. This is not the play. Leave. Footsec. What are you doing? It's such a waste of experience. I don't know what goes through people's minds in these situations, because like, you know, he will complain that his teammates are the reason he stole bronze after like 200 games. Like, well, what? You're just sharing experience with them, right? The Evelyn has done exactly what I'm telling low elo players to do, but with the added caveat of understanding tracking and when to make the right play. Okay, so now we don't even have our flash, but they're like, why are we still here? Let the bottom lane be. The Evelyn is doing the right. I like this from the Evelyn as a baseline template. It's good, right? It's predictable. It's copy paste. This is what you want in bronze. You want copy paste game planning. And in the bronze course, I will talk about this. Something simple. I will go over everything from what I think you should do. You know, I'll do that in the course, obviously, because it's going to take a little bit of time to flesh out. But look at this. She race checks a bush afterwards with a Viego is. This is just wholly inefficient. One more Q. Come on, one more Q. Oh, we don't have the movement speed. It's pain. Vhagar shows up over the wall here, but again, no mana, no HP. This Fiesta zone, I have no words. I have no words. There's nothing telling me, there's nothing, you know, and to continue my thought. I looked at my mother's 7th grade curriculum. Of course, I was a science teacher. You know, I've always been in science and math and things like this. I looked at a 7th grade curriculum. It's more advanced than like 90% curricula that we see at the moment. And it's because nowadays sometimes we're too coddly. Like, oh, they can't learn this. They're too young. No, the human mind is an agile instrument. It can really absorb a lot of things. So I refuse to believe that all of a sudden, you know, like that a bronze player just can't handle tracking. They just full clear and gank, my friends. Don't think. I refuse. I'd rather you develop these habits now so that you can steamroll every other elo with not even thinking about it. Well, not even thinking about it. So if you're Evelyn, you full clear, you take the scuttle, cool. You see the Viego bot lane wasting time. I don't know why. Cool. We press tab, we see 12. We see double buff. So that means he did buff, most likely Gromp. 99% Gromp because he needs the 3. So 100% he did Gromp. Therefore, I know that this is available. I look top lane to gank. Cool, nothing. Go down here, gank mid lane. Cool. She falls apart when she decides to face check, because as soon as he waits here 10,000 years with 12 CS and then goes up and comes back with 4 more CS, well, I know he did the Scuttle Crab. So I know the Crab's not available. Once I try this gank in the mid lane, back to base. You know, you could maybe try and control your camps here, but I think, yeah, let's just go back to base. You could just go Raptors Krugs and then reset. That puts you top side. Depends on what you want to do. Don't want to go overly complicated with it, but that was good from the Evelyn, right? We got an 18 CS lead. Thumbs up. The Viego, if you're going to do buff Grunt, my friends, don't stay in the lane. You did a good job with the 3-camp gank, even though I'm saying, like, I don't think it should be a baseline template. I think you can definitely do it, but I do think we should look to control our camps first, destroy the enemy jungler second, and if a gank does present itself in a good way, sure, I'll take it. But this is what we call the epitome of time wasting. What are you doing? This is not World of Warcraft, stop farming. This is not EverQuest, stop farming. It's silly, right? And the forcing of the dragons, unnecessary. What could we have done instead, right? We gank bottom lane. We take the blue that should be available because of our clear being different. We take the Scuttle Crab. Then we can repeat bottom lane for sure. We can definitely repeat gank it like he did, but we can do camps in between, right? So you can always repeat gank, just don't always try and do every single... Like, the Viego has the right idea here to turn. Like, hey, let's turn and not coin flip the smite. But at the same time, it's like, why are you doing the dragon anyway? We don't have prior, Yone 7, Viego 7, but Yone has the rotational power. A bottom lane are not forced to compromise the lane that we spent 10 years sharing experience on. And all we did was die executed on the Gromp because we didn't understand our threshold for clears. This is exactly why someone stays bronze. No offense. This is why you stay bronze. Because you're no longer thinking about what's a game plan that doesn't let me stand still. The Evelyn, for whatever downside she may have in this game, isn't standing still from what we can see. We haven't focused on her, but she's not standing still. Now the Zyra is taking the crab. Obviously obsession of the crab. Obsession of the buffs. After he ganked bottom lane on the 3-camp, you know, then died on the Grump, you go, well, that was not a good outing. Go back to base, sequence down here. You can full sequence to maximize experience and then get bottom lane again. Like, keep it simple, right? Even as Viego, keep it simple. The first and most important thing about bronze and low silver is understand what your one game plan is that you can run on loop. And maybe you have a backup, right? So full clear or 5-camp with Viego. And our backup is to sort of do a 3-camp, invade the jungle or gank, right? That's like the same game plan, but just flex. Like, can I gank this? No? Okay, I'll invade. And we just do that by tracking where they started. That's it. If the enemy bottom lane is late to show, we know Evelyn gets least sheer. Cool, that's it. Now Viego gets 6 because all he did was just do a quadrant, get 6, sees the Yone here. Now remember, he's 8 with Berserkers and a longsword. You're 6 with a noon quiver. Like, could you? Yes. Should you? No. It's also Yone. But again, like, we're not leaving the jungle with any greater purpose. It's like, we did a quadrant, now let's look to do some things. There's no overarching controlled strategy here. Whereas the Evelyn is, hey, I'm going to farm in sequence and counter jungle when appropriate. Then I'll look for some ganks. And that's it, right? But it's a straightforward thing that means she doesn't stand still. Ironically, she is standing still here, but that's because she's Evelyn and she's baiting. So this is a good time to stand still for a few seconds. When I hit the maximum charge, he actually does avoid, so mechanically, okay, good. Waiting for it, knowing it's coming, save your W for afterwards. Great. Control wood here in the bush. Viego he's just wasting so much time. This is why I don't like it, because even if you get one payoff, your ganking mechanics, your latest ganking mechanics, it's so unrefined. You know, the gank should be very strategically determined. I am ganking this lane now. I'm going to move into the bushes, scan it, and go. I'm going to move into the lane now. It's perfectly gankable. I don't care if it's water because I can just run in and kill them, push away and detach. There's no hovering. Like, this is taking too long. And the Evelyn is getting deep vision. She's having a look. Like, she's not doing anything super proactive, but because she's farming, right, she has 3,000 gold to his 2,700, which you think, well, that's not a big difference. True, but it's still something, right? It's still a longsword. Still a dark seal. It's things that can be tangible in a fight that's really, really close. And likewise, I do think she should have had a better execution of a level 6 gank. Like, we want to make sure that this ult is being used. Something that silver junglers, gold junglers don't always do perfectly, but also low elo in general don't do. You just don't use your ultimate enough. It's the biggest thing I learned. I was in my first season. I got some coaching myself. Playing some Zyra, I was doing some support. I do both, obviously, and that's why I played the Zyra jungle, because I started to support. And I remember the exact play. Blue side, bottom lane right here, playing with an Ezreal. I hit a beautiful max range route on someone right underneath the tower, but it was one person. And I didn't ult them. I was like, I'll use the rest of my combo, auto attacks, and back off. And the guy was like, why didn't you ult? I said, well, you know, it's only one person. He's like, yeah, but you would have killed them. Just use the ult to get the kill. You don't always need the perfect ult. If the ult is going to kill someone, that's numbers advantage. You don't always have to save it for the most perfect use case. You can kill someone and get numbers advantage. That's enough. Because they're taken out of the game. Now you have 5v4, 5v3, etc. And everyone does a good job here. He's wasting so much time, again, just counter jungles. That's great, right? This is going to be even stronger next patch. So even if you don't see the most perfect opportunity to use your ult, try and get it done. Try and find a lane where you know I can use my ult level 6. So you're pathing in such a way that once you get level 6 in bronze, you're using the ultimate in that lane. And you're going to try your best to get kills with it, end of story. And if you can get one kill, use it, right? If you can just kill the Nautilus with it, you do it. Now the Viego does show up on the bottom side here, obviously. Here we go. 47 CS in 12 minutes. We have the Evelyn, you see, there you go. The Zyra goes in, hits a nice double combo there. The Evelyn goes in. We do get the kill from the Ignite. The Viego's late to the counter gank. He's missing his spells. He's in the minimum wave, taking all the damage. I don't know why he's going so deep here. We'll look at it again, and that's not so good. So, Evelyn's done a really good job of counter jungling and using that position to get some nice ganks going. Right here, she's here before the Viego. Viego's going to follow up here. He has no flash, unfortunately. Oh, he has no flash, unfortunately. And just for context, this is where the Viego actually lost his flash, because we were talking about something else. He goes here, waits for the E to come back, and realizes, hey, like, I'm down 3 levels. If you're down 3 levels, it's not because you're laners, it's because of your own fault, right? So then we speed run this. This is where the gank happens. Here we go. Now we're going to go over the plant. We're level 7. Evelyn's level 7. There we go. Now we don't have flash, unfortunately. We are using our E here. What should be your priority target at this point? Obviously the Evelyn, but she's going to ult backwards. And now you're like, okay, well, Nautilus is dead. Xayah has no mana. There's a huge fat wave coming in. Do I have the power curve to kill anybody? No. But even if I did, I wouldn't go for the Zyra. Unless I had flash and could hit my ultimate, I wouldn't go for the Zyra. But then we just need to kill someone. If you kill someone, we'll get the soul, we'll get the ultimate reset, and then we can kill the Zyra. So try and focus on the Evelyn first, if that's the person you're going to kill. That's the counter gank, right? But again, the problem is, huge wave, no mana on the Xayah, you're by yourself, you're 1v3, and all you have is Noon Quiver. No. So, bad decision-making based on experience, resources, and gold, because we're tunnel visioning on kills and chasing them down. That is something you really have to show, like they're restrained. Okay, look, I can't do this. End of story, I can't do it. And if you're going, well, it's 12 minutes, I'm 0-3-2, what should I have done differently? Everything. The first 3 camp clear was not good. The fact that you stayed and hovered for no particular reason on every lane. Why? Hovering. Deterministic jungling. Clear. Gank. Next camp. Scuttle. Gank again. Loot back. Is this up? Is this available? No. If it is, take it. If it isn't, go back to base. If it is, it doesn't matter. Is mid lane gankable after the second gank? Maybe I can drive by and clean up. Little long on the tooth or the rotation, but that's fine. If nothing, back to base. Cool. Is this available? No, because I saw Evelyn show top side with extra camps. I know she took this. I know she took this, which means there's no point going here. So I can go back down to the bottom side and maybe just gank bottom lane directly. These camps will be up, and then I can do them afterwards. Can I gank mid lane? Yes or no? No? Okay, then I can find a sequence, take my second red, and so on. Every time you go anywhere, there has to be, why am I going there? What am I doing afterwards? Why am I going there? What am I doing afterwards? Every single time. And this will help give you strategically strong decision-making. Now, will it be correct? No. Will you make mistakes? Of course. Will you die because you mechanically misplay? Yes. And that's part of the learning process. End of story. That's part of the learning process. Now, everyone here, everyone is going to be obsessed with the dragons, obviously. 013, 032, both junglers and most junglers that are, if you go from low elo to high elo, the difference is your activity overall. I don't know why the Zyra is in the middle of the pitch here making a hero play, but basically says, I will steal this for my team. And she doesn't. And she dies. And Evelyn shows up around the wall and says, hey, can I kill a Viego? And Viego says, maybe I can survive. No, I cannot. Evelyn ults to the back of the pitch here, has flash, and will yeet herself over the wall. Yona's doing his own thing. Zai's going to flash over and keep chasing here. She has nothing left. Can she see the Evelyn, who's most likely going to go passive mode super quick, have a regen, so there's no real point doing that. And the Nautilus is still in the pit. La-da-dee. La-da-doo. That's his song, by the way. It's an actual Nautilus song. So you're not having any strong impact on lanes. End of story. You're hovering, you're leeching, you're inefficient, you're clumsy. So break it down to its fundamentals. Everything I've said here is probably way too advanced, and I know some people are like, yeah, this is too advanced for bronze. No, I don't agree. I think everything I've said in this video will help you. Because it's how I thought about the game. That's what broke me over the wall, was I started breaking it down into compartmentalized chunks and focus on one chunk at a time. So first things first, what's my strategic game plan? One option, two option, and I need to make sure my clears are good, because if my clears are good in bronze and silver, you can lap, right? You can lap so quickly. So the Evelyn, what I'm impressed about is there was not a lot of standing around, and also she's got a bit of a CS lead. She lacked a bit of proactivity using her ult and her ganks. It's not like she played perfectly either. She didn't, but before you can become a positive thing, that was nice though, before you become the positive influence on your team, you have to cease to be the negative influence on your team, yeah? If you're consistently inting and being negative, then fix that first. What's causing this? Can I stop it? Now, how can I be neutral? And then now, how can I become the positive force of good and strength? Evelyn here, obviously, the ult is a decent cooldown, so we saw that usage case down there. Let's see if she can hit her charm here. That will showcase where she is. We know that Yona's got prize, so be very cautious about going up here. Viego TP's in. Most likely they're going to look to do something in the river here. You're questioning it. Are they doing the Herald? Is someone, is someone doing something interesting that we can collapse on? Yes, they are. They back off and they say, look, we need a bit of restraint. Malphite takes all of well, not all the plates, but some plates in the full turret, which is great on the ADC frontline Gwen. There you go. Nothing else happens in the river, so we fall back to the Raptors. And then you're looking at 60 minutes and you're like, well, now what? Good question. At this point, your goal is to be the highest gold level in the game, the highest experience level in the game, the highest CSPM in the game, with the ability to basically beat anybody 1v1 while still controlling objectives back and forth, and that second Herald's a critical thing. If an Evelyn Bronze face check me at this exact same scenario, or any better jungler than me, or it doesn't matter, a good jungler, you should be able to go, why are you doing that? And you kill her, and then you take the Herald. Yone rotates and you kill him too, and you take the Herald. Then you go mid lane, you punch it, you take it, you get into the jungle, you counter jungle. Hey, Jhin, you're pushing up. Kill the Jhin. You follow? There has to be, at 50 minutes, this ability to take your lead and just the map. Bubble wrap it. Bubble wrap, squish, shove, 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 and you win every fight. If you're consistently equal or behind at this point in the game with low gold, with low itemization, it's because you're not proactive enough and you're wasting a lot of time not taking camps, not ganking, and not really controlling the game in any real way. Okay? That's the raw reality of it. The Bronze course will basically give permanent solutions to all of these issues. That's why I'm kind of doing this one here. I like to see what are the issues in the scouting, what am I seeing that's consistent in all the different Bronze games with the different jungle types, and how can we fix it with the strategies necessary to allow all of you to get to silver, thrive, and then get to gold, because that's what we're here for. This was solid though, you see? Like, this was okay, so this should show you, okay, that didn't look so bad. Cool. Well, imagine if you were doing that the whole game. Imagine if you had this lead earlier and you could do this the whole game. Adds up, doesn't it? So, something to think about. Fruit for thought. But I like this. Overcommit, always collapse, kill, snack, outside rule, take the scuttle, fall back to your blue side here. Can I loop back and kill this guy? Should I collapse and kill her? I think we should be able to do so. Gwen's going to become a bit of a menace though. And we're level 9 and she's 12. Yone's 13. That's why if you're a mid laner, don't always rotate perma. Don't always rotate blindly to support your jungler. Your jungler is playing like this, they have no idea what they're doing. So if you're a laner, just farm well. Get trade, keep your tethering in lane, you know, in a good spacing. Don't keep walking up and getting chunked and killed. You know, keep that spacing, the maximized damage that you need in order to trade and CS safely, and then go into kill threat when necessary. And then farm well. You know, if you can farm well, you will always end up with these kinds of leads as the Yone and the Gwen in terms of experience. And that will do well because people are not always maximizing their gold through good itemization, and they're not going back enough. And you see where I'm going with this? A little bit of a scuffed thing on the tethering, because I just mean auto spacing and your ability spacing, right? People always walk into waves to farm a CS, and then someone's like, well, I'm just going to chunk you now. It's like, well, that's not enough HP. My lane is lost. You didn't respect it, right? So that's a whole different thing. We're junglers here, but if you do play lane as well, keep that in mind. Jungle is the same thing, right? But it's your ganking spacing, your vision spacing, your pathing, and of course, that spacing when you're fighting in the river. That really does add up, doesn't it? Jhin now over here, absolutely free. Viego lacks any sort of cohesive ability to exist. Evelyn also isn't really doing anything of value. The Yone is still 13. The Event Horizon is used just in case, but that turret, the turret's gone. Turret's gone. Careful now. Turret is gone. This is not the time to go in. Galaxy Gamer 99 will show up. Gwen is now pushed in, level 12. Malphite's 13, so he's done a good job. Don't ult the Yone, please, because he can flash it, ult it, E it. A waste of your big one button. Viego goes back to base here. Might have been able to justify doing this whole red side quadrant to reset to come down, but I understand you want to be with your team right now. There you go, Malphite, saving it for when it's actually able to be executed. See, there you go. Waiting to use it appropriately so we guarantee the kill on it. Too many times Malphites will just lead in with it all the time without thinking about what the enemy jungler can do or enemy champion can do to avoid the R, and then it's just gone. This time, good patience, good execution, we actually do get the kill. Viego's coming out of base here with a Hearthbound Axe going deep to the enemy team, getting ulted on the Zyre. Will he get the kill? No. Look, if you're going Kraken Slay, you're playing like an assassin. So you can't just run into 3 people with CC when you're behind and be like, why aren't they dying? They're not dying because you're behind, you don't have enough damage. If you have enough damage there, you kill her very quickly. You become her, you can ease someone, do the full Zyra combo, ult that next person, they die as well, become them, chase the triple kill, right? If you can execute with a lead there, you win every time. But no, there's no real macro juice and solution for bronze and silver. There's team fights, be the one with the biggest sword. Yeah? Literally, that's it. Be the one with the biggest sword. Be the one with all the objectives. Get deep, get deep. Don't let 5v5s develop because you're deep warding, picking, stealing, counter jungling, shoving a wave, shoving a wave, shoving a wave. And they will never be able to settle the proper fight, and they will always overcommit, oversplit, detach. They won't wait for their team to respawn, and you just keep that numbers disadvantage for them in flow of the whole game. And that's it. It turrets and win. Now the Viego here will be able to hold a decent amount. They will try and brute force this game. Like Zyra is split pushing on the bottom side here. We got Yone and Evelyn going up. Gwen's on the top side, right? Jin's not in the picture at the moment. Now's the time that we use our numbers advantage to pull the trigger, get an engage. But will Nautilus do it? We burn the flash, which is great. Like, I don't know what's going on here with this, but it's going on. Now we're going to go on in the Evelyn. The Malphite is moving on down here. The Gwen does use her ult. Evelyn's forced to ult out herself. We don't have any flash, obviously. We don't have our ult up off cooldown, so we need to kill someone first. That's a little rough. Gwen is most likely coming down here. Jhin is now in the mid lane. You have to be aware of the fact that Zyra's disappeared from someplace. Evelyn's going to come back into the fight, and Gwen, as I said, wrong champion. Malphite's not in the picture, but imagine this scenario where you have like 3k more gold and like, do you care about this? Like, oh, die. Hey, Malphite, thanks for pushing this with me, buddy. Let's go. They rotate, you cut in, you take the rest of this, you catch this one, you push this one, or if you have enough long death timers, just do the Baron, right? That's what we're looking to do in these elos. And it requires you to really play Malphite. Play whatever you want. But there is, without a doubt, a very clear example case in this video why the Amumus and the Malphites are good for this elo. You don't have to focus on the champion. You can make big outplays to win. End of story. You want to play something complicated? Go ahead. But remember, with that comes more likelihood for mistakes, less likelihood for 1v9 unless you execute it properly. All these things. Now we're overstaying a little bit. Again, we're just overstaying. We do see the Evelyn. She's also overstaying here a little bit, but we know that everyone's going to be coming up. That's nice. Missing an HP. Pseudo execute getting that kill. We'll take it. We're overstaying here. Why? Because everyone's going to be respawning, coming up. Could showcase some sort of 4v2 advantage, and then they take the Baron. Evelyn also decides to go too deep, and of course we benefit from that, so that's fine. We played off of it well. But now again, Nautilus is in base, Veigar's in base, Zaya's in the bottom lane, and here we go again. There you go, Viego dies. So in the end, it always happens. The map is king, my friends. The map is king. It controls all. And just because we got a free kill here because of our own stupidity doesn't negate ours, there you go. But it's fine. Everyone's hitting turrets. I like that at least. Focused on the goal at hand, hitting the turrets, getting to the Nexus. But again, the blue team is now executing what I said the Viego team should do, which is consistent numbers advantage. Split push Zyra, apparently. Look, I do this as well when my team are dead or, you know, not interested in it. I will push the waves and deal with it yourself, but you're not split pushing hardcore. Like, you're still with your team the whole time. Gwen's not pushing this. Zyra and Jhin were pushing this. Evelyn kills Zaya. I don't think we need to look at that. We kind of can see what happened. Moss Stomper Evelyn, huh? Yeah. Those things bug me because there's no coaching. It's just... Right? I see them coming down through the vision that we may have. Or, like, there's no vision line here. And they would last see it here. Maybe they could cut through here once I kill them low. Maybe I should leave and regenerate. The obsession over trying to take all of the stuff on the map in the zone... It costs you when you just don't pay attention to your surroundings. Yeah. Viego's up now. We know they're most likely in our jungle. Do we want to face check it and die? No. There's a dragon available. Their jungler's dead. Can we get here and snack this? There's 2 top lane as well, so we'll take the Hextech dragon. That's fine. Always like a good old-fashioned Hextech dragon. Cannot Zaya hold the top lane by herself? Let's have a look. No. The answer is no. Although if you needed to watch that to know that answer, then we knew that was never going to work. Gwen, late game, Jhin. Nautilus does get the kill though. They all reset now, and because they all reset now, they're able to collapse because they greeted as well. Take the turret, kill the ADC, run away, run away, run away. That's it. You did a good job. And you traded it for a dragon too. It's not like you want to die for this, because in theory you could go, oh, maybe we do this now. It's just a back and forth. This is all it is. There's no macro. Right? That's why we don't coach macro in the Zelo. Because there's none. Just back and forth, mistakes, overstays, numbers advantages not being abused, vision lines not being respected. That's all stuff you can just pay attention to. You know, there's no... Hey, we have 5, they have 3. I mean, math, okay, engage. You know what I mean? So there is a lot of nuance to that kind of like how the engage works and how the team fighting kind of flows together. I did put that in the silver course, obviously, so that's definitely really, really good. But from a raw numbers perspective, it's not that complicated. Now, we do have 3 people behind the Baron pit. Malphite is here. Let's see what busts this game open. Okay, Jin's on the bottom side with the Baron up, obviously, as expected. We decide to go in on the Gwen here with no real vision control, not realizing that, hey, we're down 2 levels, we can't do anything, we're forced over the wall. Gwen will dash over the wall, we do hit the stun there, we're gonna get snipped, 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 and stopwatch is activated. She overcommits, the Baron has been started though, it's attacking our Zaya, is forced to flash out. We will become the Gwen, get a bit of healing there as well. Now, if anyone else wants to show, maybe we can do something. Now we have numbers. Malphite, what's your alt timer? 10 seconds, ping this. Okay, ping this. If you're not the Malphite, ping it. Everyone's on the top side. We saw her there very, very briefly. So you're pinging the Malphite's ultimate. Vision control here is important because we want them to not see that we've begun it. We want to see the question mark. Ideally, we're just trying to bait the fight. Zyra goes in. Separates the team a little bit. Everyone's still on the top side. Yona's going to go in here, do the swoop-de-doo. Again, we're all split up. This is the problem. As I said, we're looking split. This is the problem. Yone dives the back line. If you're Malphite, it's good to ult there just to ensure that our team don't get wiped. That's it. Yone did the fight winnings. 4 people stuck together. 2 people detached into this. Plant, plant, plant. If you're Viego, guys, go plant over smite it. Plant over smite it. That's it. You plant, you smite it, because he ever went this side. End of story. Very, very simple. But the problem was... Look, 2 people want to finish it, 3 people want to kind of bait, They're getting zoned by plants and chunked by plants with the Leandry's burn. This is the problem. If you're sticking as 4 together and you can split them into 3 and 2, right? 3 and 2, perfect. Because now we have a 4v3 and the 2 are not paying attention. So instead of it being a 5v4, the advantage is turned in our favor. So here, you either just turn straight up and make this fight 5v4, or you stick together in your decision making. Because they don't, the Yone goes backline here. The Nautilus and the Malphite are not peeling, they're not ulting, they're not CCing. So the Yone is free to do what he wants. Evelyn and Jin follow the Yone, obviously, to clean this up. These two are still stuck in the back of the pit. So if you're the tank, you have to be able to recognize this. Because your job is to not allow this to happen. This cannot happen. And if you have the Viego now, we've gone to the mid lane here. Okay, we don't have blades, so we don't have any lifesteal. Like, go, look at this, he has smite too. Go hit this, you're gonna die anyway, just smite it. Get some heal up, smite it, maybe you can actually translate it to a kill, maybe, who knows. But as long as you get it, that's fine. Xayah can go back to base, and it's okay. It's a salvageable situation. And because Evelyn ulted out the top side, which maybe he just didn't see, right? So these little quick informational decisions in real time, they make a difference. Make a difference, all right? They just shove up, take an inhib, then nothing happens. Viego dies to the Yone. She's splitting level 17 with the Baron. The support is holding it for some particular reason, gets killed. Malphite's gonna rotate, go in here. Viego's like, I'm gonna split top lane to hold this way for some reason. They're pushing the second inhib. This is nicely done by the blue team. Very good stuff. This is the macro, right? But it's not really macro. It's, hey, take this, loop, take this, loop, take this around the world. Keep it simple. Let all the minions push in together. Make a pick if you need to, and then end the game. That's exactly what should happen, barring any unforeseen patience. Not unforeseen patience, but unforeseen stupidity. So here we want to have patience, obviously. There's a dragon up. If we need to take it, we can take it. I don't think we really need to here, but if you have a lot of cash money gold in pocket, blue team, you can obviously afford to take it and go back to base. But if you don't, you can just take the dragon and kind of join up with the waves, but you could have just waited for the waves, I think. If you still have Baron, it's best to wait for the waves. Now, if you're red team, you can't go into this part of the jungle. Please don't. Evelyn's always a question mark. There they are. Xayah's basing. Viego's gonna try and hold, but there's nothing they can do. That's why you do this. Simple. Takes a little bit, but it's simple. Malphite ults nothing, gets rooted and killed. Good turn back. Evelyn wastes her ultimate, doesn't really matter. Yone does the deep dive. Viego's top lane gonna die to the Gwen. Numbers advantage. Blue team saw the numbers advantage with the Viego top lane. They took advantage of it, and now we can maybe do the things. Evelyn needed her ult there, so the fact that she didn't have it sucks. Yeah. Viego, my friend, you are too far behind to be able to do anything this game. ADCs are alive. Gwen kills the Veigar, and this should be game. So, there you go. Jin with the flash auto. Fourth shot is a strong button. TP from the Gwen. There you go. So, messy game. Clunky game, but while definitely I make it more complicated than it needs to be with certain things, I believe in giving you as much information as possible. You can pick and choose which part of that information is good for you as a bronze player, which one resonates with your style, which one resonates with what I was, with how you're playing and what mistakes you're making. Focus on that one thing first, apply it, come back to this video. What's the next thing? Apply it, right? One at a time. Apply the principles one at a time. Don't always try and apply them all at once. It's too much. So yeah, Jungle Improvement PDF is available for free as well. This will help a lot of you players in this ELO. Just go to the site, enter your email address. Bronze and Iron course next Friday. Gold course this Friday and Monday. Hopefully everything goes smoothly because obviously I was sick. Silver course is available and coaching as well. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I'll see you all in the next coaching.